I've read a lot of books over the years and I remember jack shit. But I think I figured out why. So here are the two things that I have learned along with the bonus tip that I would share at the end of the video that have actually helped me in becoming a better reader. Many people would argue that books are like flesh memory. Just like a piano player can't describe what he's doing but can still perfectly play the piano. Books change our day-to-day thoughts even though we might not understand them. There's some truth to that. But to me, it sounds like buying a Ferrari and then being happy with using it to go to the groceries. It's an overkill. So tip number one is if you don't write about it, don't bother with it. You have to re-articulate whatever it is that you're reading in your own words. It's very easy to feel confident that you actually understand what you're doing. But if I ask you to articulate it, if I ask you to put it in your own words, you will very soon realize the loopholes and the things that you don't understand about it will come to light very quickly. Now, understandably, a lot of people would argue that this is a much more time-consuming process. I don't have the time to read and rewrite it again and then see whether my understanding is up to the mark. But my argument is that real time waster is reading something that you're gonna forget anyways. Anders Ericsson in his book Peak called it the deliberate practice. It is when you try to improve your work in a genuine manner by focusing on something that actually makes it better rather than just iterating the same old shit. And for the longest time, I struggle to understand what that deliberate practice looks like for something like reading or intellectual endeavors until I learned that rephrasing and reiterating the subject matter is a real deliberate practice of intellectual endeavor. Tip number two is you need a central repository of ideas. Okay. Now you have collected all your ideas in writing. You have rewritten them, you understand them. But how do they compare with all these other ideas that you have read over the years? Do they contradict, expand, or contrast them in some way? If you leave your ideas in isolation, you will definitely lose them. You need to instead connect them to a central repository of ideas that you can recollect and recall whenever you want. And this leads me to the bonus tip, which is actually the recommendation of a book with a horrible title, How to Take Smart Notes by Sonke Ahrens. This book has actually built up on both the themes of rewriting your ideas and connecting them back to the ideas that you already know about and expanded on them in an executable and a pragmatic manner. It talks about this sociologist Nicholas Luhmann, who was famous for writing so many books and articles throughout his lifetime, even though he just had a 9-to-5 job and didn't even have an academic background until the fact that somebody just picked him up from nowhere and just gave him a professorship, and his journey actually evolved following the system. I have read this book at least 5 times now and it has really changed my life, and I'm glad I encountered it. I learned so many practical tips from it. I wanted a system to come up with better and better ideas, and this book definitely provides that, so definitely check it out. Till then, happy reading.